You need to have a nice image of yourself if you want to sell. Buy the nice car, wear a nice, find some money, make sure it's still coming in. Because buying the nice car, you say, oh, how does that equal money in? Well, it actually does, because it's your reputation. You have to have a nice image of yourself to sell nearly anything. Drive a nice car if you can, have nice clothes, look good, look presentable, go gym, have nice things. I'm not gonna tell you not have nice things. A lot of people who say that are fucking liars. Tight losers, they're tight losers. They're living a tight person's life. Do you really want that life? Do you want to be selling $17 ebooks and sitting at home and not spending any money and saving up, go fucking squirrel? Or do you want to be like me with 8 supercars? Who knows more? Let me ask you another question. If I would have launched Tate.com, I was already a millionaire when I launched it. So that's the difference between me and all the other course guys. These guys need courses to be rich. I'm rich without any of it. I don't need it. When I launched Tate.com, the reason it was so successful was because I already had a Lambo. I was already rich. My car paid for itself. Would you be buying from me right now? Would you have bought this university if I didn't have a big house and loads of nice cars? If I said, I know loads about business, but I live in an apartment with a laptop and I sit there all day on my own, but I know loads, would you have even bought this course? I'm like, what the fuck do you know? That shows how important image is. Flexing on the broke boys is important. So don't fucking neglect it. I'm not saying blow all your money. I'm saying that having a good image is not going to hurt you in any way. Don't be afraid to spend money for your image, because it's a real thing. Everything in life is basically the same thing. Everything in life is people walking into rooms and saying, that's what politics is, that's what business, that's what negotiate, everything you can think of is some guy walking into somewhere. The Senate court is, everything is people, blah, blah, blah. Talking is something you need to get good at. If you're good at talking, you have the gift of the gab, as they say, you can sell anything. No matter what you're selling, the better you get at talking, the better you're gonna sell it. So if there's one skill you need to practice for your sales, it's how to talk. How to talk convincingly, how to put energy into your presentation, how to not be boring. Learn to speak, but you need to be good at speaking. Being good at speaking will make you be good at selling. They are the same thing. Get used to talking. I've been in presentations over and over again with people who have a fantastic product, fantastic information, great price point, but and the presentation is slick, they've got the PowerPoint, etc., but they're just not good at talking. There's no fucking X factor with their talk. There's no pa-pow. You need to have that pa-pow. You need to get good at talking. Practice it. Practice getting good at talking. That's one of the most important skills you can learn for life. From getting women to selling products, it's exactly the same thing. You need to get good at talking. It's important. So, there's lots of different ways you can be good at talking. My way, the way I talk, suits my personality. You have to develop your own type. But I try my best to make sure I put loads of energy in. Most people speak and they don't realize super low energy. And when you have the ebook, you don't sell the ebook, you sell the result of the ebook. Because if you sell the ebook, you're bored already. I'm bored. So I scream and I move my arms around and shit. I'm eccentric. I'm over the top. You don't have to be that way. There's other ways you can also be engaging without being the same as me. I know lots of other guys who are engaging other ways, but you have to develop an angle to be engaging. So next time you talk to someone who's an engaging speaker, find out why they're engaging. Even some people are engaging because they laugh all the time. People like positivity. So if you've ever been around someone who's like constantly like laughing when they talk, but then you're like, well, you listen more. What the fuck's so funny? His life seems. Find a way to differentiate yourself one way or another. There's loads of different tips and tricks. I can't tell you to be like me because I'm me and you're you. But you need to find a way to be engaging. And the way you do that is next time you're listening to someone and you're particularly engaged, work out what about them is engaging. So I like to be high energy, but high energy always helps. Being low energy never helps anyone. Even if you're shit in bed, at least if you're high energy, it'll be better if you can do something. One thing you do need to avoid is, everyone does it. But if you'll notice, you're watching this university, I'm not reading off a teleprompter. I'm doing everything off the top of my head, and I very, very rarely start stuttering or saying, I've trained it out of my brain. But you start slowly. You talk slowly, you breathe, you make sure you don't make any and then you get better at it, and then you can be as quick as me. Now I talk very, very fast without mistakes, without gaps. And will lose you a deal. Oh, so explain to me how the flux capacitor works. Okay, so you just lost it. You just lost the deal right there. And 99% of people will do exactly that. Even people who are good, even experienced people. Okay, so why? How does the flux capacitor work? I'm gonna tell you exactly how the flux capacitor works. Here's how it works. Look at this. I just got the deal. You didn't. All I did was repeat his question. You're saying, so you have time to think. I'm repeating the question, so I have time to think. Tell me how the flux capacitor works. Okay, or tell me how the flux capacitor works. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you exactly how the flux capacitor works. All I did was repeat his question. It's not complicated. There's tips and tricks so you learn how to speak without sounding like a moron. If someone and ahs in a presentation with me, I won't buy from them because I don't like that shit. I don't speak that way. Learn how to not speak that way. As a man, you should always live for something bigger than yourself. I feel like that the true masculine imperative is to find a battle worth fighting for. That's why men have always gone to war, and some men died. That's how it's always been for men. As a man, your life shouldn't be about quantity, it should be about quality. And trying to live as long as possible, but being that porridge goo in the middle is not as important as living a shorter amount of time and getting to be the T-bone steak. So I want people to understand that I believed I was doing the right thing, and I'm not a perfect person, and perhaps I made some mistakes, but I believed I was doing the right thing at the time, and that I don't have any regrets about it, and that I would like people to learn from my example and live true to themselves. And I think that the world can be a beautiful place when you're true to yourself. I really think that a lot of depression and a lot of sadness and a lot of discontentment with consciousness comes from the very simple fact that most men are not true to themselves. And when I say that, I mean, I can say this in a funny way, or I can say this in a serious way. I'm going to choose.
Give us both.
All right, let me choose funny first.
Cool.
You want to fuck a bitch? Fuck a bitch, bro. I love her. I love my girlfriend with all my heart. Yeah, I want to fuck her today. And I fucked her. Boom. I don't love her. I love you. I fucked her. Sorry. Now, I can pretend I'm not supposed to want to do that. I can pretend I don't want to do it. I can listen to my woman tell me that's wrong and then be told I'm immature and all this crap. I want to do what I want to do. If I want to tell a man to go away in a less polite way, I'll do it. If I want to fire a member of staff, I'll fire them on the spot. I don't care. Because I know if I don't do what I want, the resentment inside of me eats away at me. And most men are living lives not doing what they want. Please understand. They don't get to talk to the girls they want to talk to because they're not important enough. They don't get to hang around with the guys as often as they want because they have to work a job they don't like doing. They don't get to tell their woman to be quiet because she'll leave him. He doesn't get to tell his boss to go away because he'll get fired. He just sits in his car, quiet and meek, filled with rage. And the best thing about being rich and important, and I guess the truest way to be happy as a man, is to be true to yourself, which is good and bad. I get to give to charity. I have a charity, TatePledge.com, and I donate millions of dollars a year to charity and feed children. I love my kids. I love my friends. I love the people around me. And if I don't like someone, I tell them to get fucked. And I say it right to their face, in their eye. And if they want to do something about it, it's up to them. And I'm prepared for that too. And I get to live true to my masculine imperatives in all ways. I don't have to sit and be fake or lie or get along with someone.
You keep it real.
I keep it real. And that is why so many men are unhappy today. They don't get to keep it real. Bro, you know what I find truly amazing? There are men out there who are afraid to tell their own woman, leave me alone, I'm busy. Because she'll give him a headache. Don't talk to me that way. And he's like, oh, babe, please let me just work now. No, I'm working. Leave me alone. I love you very much, but I'm working. Leave me alone. There are men who don't even get to be a man in their own house. They don't even get to be a man in their own house. No wonder you're depressed. No wonder you're miserable. I'm talking about being the king of earth. You don't got to be the king of earth. At least be the king of your house. If someone breaks into that house, you have to die to protect that woman. You're paying the bills. And you said, leave me alone for 5 minutes. And she's giving you attitude? Bro, you said don't post our location on Instagram. They want to kill me. And she's worried about her likes. Most people's lives, most dudes' relationships, their lives are so fucked up. They don't even realize. No wonder you're sad. Look in the mirror. Look in your own eyes. I'd be miserable if I was these people. If I have a girlfriend, that's, I guess, it's one of the best things about status. I know this is a bit off topic because you asked me how I want to be remembered, but the answer is I want to live true to my masculine imperatives. But if I have a girlfriend and I get a girlfriend and I like her very much and we're together, and I say, we're together now, you don't need Instagram. You know what she says? Cool. And deletes it. I don't have to force her. I don't have to tell her. I don't have to control her. I just say it. And she's like, yeah, because she respects me and she knows I'm worth more than any Instagram page. If you say to your chick, delete Insta, she's like, well, I want my Insta.
Get rid of her.
Right, well, I mean, she needs it for some, I don't know. But I'm saying, if you're not even in, most men, I think most men desire respect. I think we all desire respect innately. But if you're not in charge of your house and you're not in charge of your own relationship and you're working for someone else, you're not in charge of your business. And obviously you're not in charge of the government because they're out to wreck you. Like what What are you doing? Of course you're sad. I'd rather be me and get punched in the face by the Matrix and get back up, or get punched in the face and keep smiling, but at least I have some semblance of control of my empire. At least. Most of these men haven't got anything, and that's why they're so sad, and I would hate to be remembered as one of them. But they won't be remembered at all, and that's why when they die, there'll be a number. And there's always going to be numbers and names on this planet, and the names have always had difficult lives. If you look back at any battle in history, they will say 13,000 people died.
And X person.
And one of them was him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that guy. And avoiding all of the hardship it takes to become that guy is truly insane, because you'll just be one of the 13,000. You'll still die. Like I said earlier about the man who doesn't want to fight things till wars go away. No, that's the reason I'm fighting this war against the Matrix, because they're coming for all of us. If any man is watching this, I may be charging at the gunfire first. I may be leading the charge and I may be getting hurt. You're somewhere at the back and you feel safe. They're coming for all of us. So at least I get to go down as a name as opposed to dying as a number. So don't worry about me dying a little bit early. Worry about yourself dying and not being remembered at all.
Andrew Tate, I want to thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
And guys, I know I've probably been quiet this episode, but when you have someone like yourself on Tate, God gave us one mouth and two ears for a reason, so all we've got to do is listen.
Thank you, sir.
So now I'm excited to have Tristan on and listen to see what he says as well.
Thank you, bro.
Have you got any questions? My voice just completely cracked today. Have you got any questions that you'd like me to ask Tristan?
Ask him who's better at Uno. That's important. Let's see if I want to see if he tells you the truth. Let me tell you all guys something at home. I have never lost a game of Uno. I am undefeated, world champion, centennial, 3-time world champion. I was in jail, 3 life sentences, just me by myself, 1,000 people against me in the biggest Uno game ever played in history. I beat 1,000 people with no cards. I beat them, they let me out of my 3 life sentences. All of them had to get the bus to Jupiter because they were stupider than me. And I stayed here on Earth as the champ. You can't play greens against me. If you play greens at any point, I'm guaranteed to beat you. Blues and reds don't work. Uno, world champ. Repeat all of that to Tristan so he knows. Tell him he's been to Jupiter, he's stupider. I've been to jail, 3 life sentences. I got out because of my Uno prowess. I have never lost a game. Something that people say, you tried your best. And that's true. But a lot of people overuse it. People say, oh, well, you didn't get it, but you tried your best. 99% of the time, they didn't try their best. People don't actually try very hard for things anymore. I am truly, genuinely trying my best. I don't waste a minute of my day. Before this podcast, as I set up cameras, I'm working. I don't waste a minute of my day. I do not miss a training session. I do not miss an email. I do not make mistakes. I'm on it. So I'm trying my absolute best. If I fail for the first time in human history, then I failed. But at least I get the satisfaction in my heart of knowing I actually really tried my best. Most people don't get to get that satisfaction because they know deep down they could have tried a bit harder. Whereas if I end up in jail, I'll be like, Andrew, you did everything you could have done. So that gives you a level of peace. I did my best. My ancestors are proud of me. God is proud of me. I did my absolute best. I couldn't have possibly done better. And I got hit with a lucky punch, and that's life. And all I can do is just smile regardless. Your life is war. If you're a man and you don't view the world as war, I can't imagine how you view the world. My entire worldview is war. So if you're the average man in a European country and you're not financially free and you're stuck somewhere in the middle, not only is your life going to get harder, but also the place you live in is going to get worse. How do you have time to be depressed? You have so much you could do. There's so much that you need to do to be your best self, and you're competing against men like me, and you're finding hours a day to be sad? No wonder you're going to perpetually lose forever. So how do you find time to do this? It's brutally ineffective. You have a brain, you have a mind, you have a mental model. You can't think of everything, you can't do everything. You can only have certain frameworks instilled inside of your mind. As a man, you should be hyper competitive. You should try and be the best version of yourself you can be. You're competing against every other man on earth for the girl you want, the car you want, the house you want, the watch you wear. It's all competition. You should be as competitive as you possibly can. Anything that's inside of your mind which doesn't allow you to be competitive should be erased. This is why I can't name a weakness. I can't name a weakness I have. I've compensated so heavily for any weakness that may exist, I don't even see them anymore.